Hey guys, welcome back to Sweet Beulah Farm. I just wanted to give y'all an update on where we're at. We have not made a video in a while and we've just got a lot going on, but I wanted to give you an update on where we're at with the house and where we're at with the farm stuff and just kind of show you what we've got going on. All right, so I'm gonna be driving down the land. I'm kind of driving through our hopefully garden area. We'll see. I don't know if we'll get to it this summer. I would love to be able to just put some small raised beds in here and just see what we can do with like a little bit of compost and just get something in, but I don't know, we'll see. Here right behind are a couple of mulberry trees we found. So we have one over here and then we have 2 or 3 over here, and we went and we picked some with the kids the other day. We can't really shake them right now, I don't think, because they're kind of far in there. Josiah brush hogged underneath, but I don't know, we'll see. Here's a pond. It is a work in progress. It's very steep and a lot of runoff goes into it, so we got to figure out what to do. So I think we're gonna try to build eventually, not right now. So if you can see, our house will be up there on the hill, and then I think we would love to be able to like make some type of pier or dock type of situation coming out, which would maybe help so we don't have to be like fishing on the bank necessarily, and just have it kind of out right there, because it is a pretty steep hill. We might have to do a retaining wall, but if we can do it up there starting with like a boardwalk pier type of situation and come down into the pond, that would be kind of cool. So, but it's a nice pond. We don't have any fish. We're gonna stock it probably in the fall. We're going around, driving around the property. This is our neighbors, where our land butts up right against the back of his shop. And luckily, they're like the nicest neighbors that you could ever find. He's actually gonna do our cabinets for us. But he and his wife and his kids, they're so sweet. And I feel like we couldn't have gotten better neighbors for our forever home. So we don't have a ton of equipment yet, but Josiah has been renting from Home Depot a walk behind brush hog to kind of help with the brush. We do have goats. If you haven't seen that video, I posted recently that we got some goats to help clear the brush. We only have 7 and 5 of them are like babies. So they're kind of going slow. But he got a walk behind brush hog and he's got it twice, and I'm sure he'll keep getting it, but he's been doing a lot of work with it and it's been really nice. He's blazed some trails through the woods for us, which has been really great. So we used to have the goats all up here. They cleared out the fence line, so it's very clear now. Now Josiah just has to come in and clean it up. He's kind of cleaned up that corner a little bit more, but here's our apple trees. They're doing okay. Some of them are thriving more than others. Whoa! A couple have some, I think they're just overwatered. They're not overwatered. It's, what is this? They have gotten too much rain. It's rained a ton this spring. It's kind of crazy. So, they've just gotten a lot of water, and they're down at the bottom of a hill, which I knew that was kind of a risk going into it, but I felt like it was the best place for an orchard on this land, specifically with where our house was going to be. So they're okay. They're doing all right. I think they'll pull through. So we've got our 4 apple trees. We're going to probably plant some more in the fall. So we had a random friend of a friend come over, and he just tilled up a 60 by 60 plot for me down here at the bottom by the orchard. I think eventually it'll just be more orchard space, but I wanted to get something in the ground just for fun. And so I had a bunch of seeds and I just wanted to use them. And so I planted out some pumpkins and melons and flowers and sunflowers. Josiah siphoned out water to come down from the pond through drip irrigation. So he set that all up for me, which I'm so thankful for. And then we actually ran a hose down here too, because we have a bunch of wildflowers in here too. That drip just wouldn't be able to get it watered well enough. So this is just a random, like, let's just test it out. Let's just see what happens. We've never done like a tilled garden, like a traditional style. And we're just like experimenting and just kind of see. We have the space to do it, so why not? And then I already had the seeds. So I'll show you what we have. So all down this kind of like, I have like 4-foot sections. So I have, I think 4 rows of sunflowers. We'll see how well they do. I've never had to deal with as much weeds as I'm going to have to deal with, so that'll be interesting. But I see a lot of them kind of popping up. So there's one. Here's a couple other, you know, they're all in here. So, well, you can see a tiny one, tiny one. They're all in here. So we'll see what happens. I wanted to give them a little bit more space because I want them to be pretty tall. So we'll see. Also, I ordered some sunflower seeds from Baker Creek, which I love their stuff. But I got a pack of sunflowers that was supposed to be like a short cutting variety that were really cute. I can't remember the variety, but there was 5 seeds in the packet. Has that happened to anybody else? I was like, why is there only 5 seeds in this whole packet? I was a little frustrated. So anyway, so that's sunflowers. Then we have another section right here. I don't want to walk in there right now, but I just scattered a ton of wildflower seeds, like this whole section. So I think it's either a lot of flower seeds in there or a lot of grass seed that's just turned up. I hope it's flowers, but we'll see. I don't know. So there's all some wildflowers. And then we have, that's all right there, a little bit of a break. And then here I have melon, or not melons. Is it melons? Yes, melons. So these I think are Kajari melons. Have never tried them. Thought that would be fun to try. These are like, I think they're just called sweet melons. The germination is like kind of spotty on this one. I've planted like 2 every 3 feet. And then these are just traditional crimson watermelon. And then all over here is pumpkins, squash, that type of thing. So my first row is just a traditional jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. They're starting to take off. Holy cow. I guess the rain is great for that because we're not having to use the water. And then I have some, what is this? Oh, these are just mini, like little, these are called sugar pie pumpkins. And so these are the ones that are really good for making pumpkin pies. So I have a bunch of those. I plan on giving a lot of stuff away, I think, because I'm thinking I'm gonna be like overwhelmed with food with these pumpkins and squash. Then I have, I don't remember the variety of this, but this is kind of like a long, like a very long pumpkin, or not pumpkin, squash that I can't remember the name, gosh dang it. It is fresh, tastes like zucchini, and then you can cure it like a pumpkin though, which is really cool, I think. So you can long store it if you want to. And then I have some mini, like honey, there's called honey nut squash. They're like a butternut squash, but like miniature. And then this last one is just a traditional zucchini. And I planted quite a bit because the last few years in North Carolina, I have dealt with squash vine borers, and they're horrible. And I never grew squash because I could never get it to work. I don't know what that's like here in Missouri, so I just went ahead and planted a lot, and we'll just see. And then if I have like a million zucchini, I guess I'll just give them away to friends and neighbors. And we don't really have any friends yet, so I guess when I make friends, I can give some to some friends. So anyway, this is our in-ground experimental. Let's try to learn how to be like old school gardeners, because I've never done that type of situation. All right, I am gonna drive to the woods where we have our goats. We moved them the other day, so they're actually in there doing their real job. They graduated from high school and college, and now they're doing their careers here out in the woods. But first, I wanted to show you our blackberry wall. So these are all blackberries right when you come into the woods. It's pretty amazing, honestly. I will get out and show you. So my favorite fruit is blackberries, and I always thought it'd be so cool to live on land with blackberries. But my first thing I wanted to do when we moved was to plant blackberries. And lo and behold, we come and there's like blackberries everywhere, wild blackberries. And so there is all these new shoots. Like there's a ton of new shoots, so they won't produce fruit this year, but there are a ton of blackberries that are, you know, fruiting up. It is the beginning of June, and I have seen some at the state park, like literally 3 miles away, that are ripe, which is interesting. But here, like 3 miles away from the state park, they are still kind of flowering a little bit and just fruiting up. And so they're not even turning red yet, but they're everywhere. I mean, this whole thing is blackberries. I mean, it's kind of intense, but I like it. We're gonna make sure that we don't just like let it go everywhere. Of course, we can't let it do that, even though I would love to see that. But it's kind of amazing, like, to see this. And we have all this down in our creek as well. It's kind of wild. So, but I like it. So we have a lot over here. We have some over here. This is like the blackberry haven. Blackberry, what do we name this? I am reading a book. I'm finishing it. I've been the last few weeks taking forever to read it, but it's called The God of the Garden. And he talks about like putting names to spots on his farm, and his parents did that. And we love like meaning and naming in our kids, and we named Sweet Beulah for a reason. And I love the idea of naming parts of your farm. And I need to figure out a name for this area. Blackberry, I don't know. Do we name it Blackberry something? Something more creative and artsy and poetic would be cool. But anyway, there's just all these wild blackberries. So in the next month, I'd say that we're gonna be like in blackberry heaven. Maybe we just call it blackberry heaven down here. I don't know. All right, on to the goats. This is our trail we have right here. We kind of put their fence up, although their fence is not working actually. Like electric is not working. We don't know why. We tried to troubleshoot it. I don't know. We don't know what's going on. It's the Premier One chicken poultry netting, and it's not working. The voltage is really low. We had it working at the beginning, and now it's not. So anyway, we're here at the goats. Hey, goats. Hey, goats. Hey, goats. Uh-oh. Someone's stuck in there? What? What's wrong? You're being loud, Creamy. What's wrong? Where are the other ones? Hopefully they're not lost. I'm not kidding you. I feel like I'm gonna lose. Oh, there's Mama. Where are the babies? Huh? Hey, I don't have any treats. I don't have any. Mama and baby are the most skittish ones, and I'm always afraid that babies are gonna escape, and I don't see them. I always have a heart attack, but these ones are always good. Ivy, where's your babies? Where are babies? Here, babies. Hey, babies. There they are. Hey, babies. Come here. Come here, babies. All 7 are accounted for. That's my worst nightmare, is coming back here since they've moved to their real job, is to come back and find not all 7, or some dead, or coyote takes one. I have no idea. I'm just nervous, but they've been doing great. Like, they're chained to the fence even though it's not working. So the only ones that could get out are the babies, and they don't want to get out because Mama's here too. So, but they're thriving in here. Like this, I don't know how people have goats without like woods, honestly, because we had them in the pasture and they just stayed in their house. They just weren't really eating very much, and they are just going to town in here. They love it. They just are like always doing some stuff, like climbing on trees and eating the brush. Huh, Poppy? Huh? Hey, Poppy. Hey, Poppy. Hey, Monster. What are you doing? Hey, Monster. Anyway, we've really been able to tell, like, they just are so much happier back here. You can just see it in their personalities. You can see it, like, they just are eating a lot more. They're, like, not bored, which also I think they wouldn't get out because of that. They just have so much to do. Like, they have all of this to eat. they love it. I mean, and they've done a lot in here. You can't really tell because you guys haven't seen the before, but this just like, you couldn't even see through. Now we're starting to be able to see through there, and Josiah can come in here now and clip because he can see. So he's following the goats. Oh, look, they've done a really good job right here. You can kind of see. And then, yeah, over here, you can just tell they've done a lot on the underbrush. You can just see through. Hey, goats! Hey, goats! Hey, goats! Hey, babies! Hey, babies! Where's Mama? Huh? Oh, here she comes! Ivy! Ivy! And she doesn't care. She's like, does not like us. I mean, she likes us when we have treats, but anyway, I can't understand really if people have goats and they aren't foraging, because you can just see they are thriving in it. And I don't know. I just feel like that's what they're supposed to be doing. And no, I'm not trying to bash anybody that has goats, not like in the woods or whatever, but that's just that. Even on the other side, you could just tell they just did not want to eat the grass. And you could tell when they were done with an area on the other side, because the forage was all gone and they were reaching for forage they couldn't reach. And there was a ton of grass that was really high they could have eaten. And they ate some of it, but like they didn't love it. So anyway, I don't know. I really feel like if you're going to have goats, then you should have some woods, and I don't know. They just thrive on it, I think. Josiah blazed a trail in there that we can walk in. That's like going through Blackberry Haven. This is where an easement was. It was nullified, and it's not an easement anymore, which is kind of cool. But so it's kind of like a path for us. Ooh, some pretty flowers that are blooming. And anyway, this is our creek right up here. And we own a little bit past the creek. We're actually going to have somebody come out and survey, because we can't find any documents that actually have the actual like plot on it. And so we have to have somebody come out and survey. So this is our little trail, potential campsite area. We make sure to drive this because often we just want to be able to make sure that it stays clear, kind of. And it's a really nice area. Once the goats get back here, it'll be so clear. Like, there's not a lot of brush, like, you know, like vines and things. It's just growth, like vegetation growth on the bottom. So anyway, these are all walnut trees back here too, which is pretty cool. I've heard it's very intense to like process walnuts. Maybe we'll do it one time and like never do it again, but at some point I'd like to try it. But anyway, this is kind of a nice little area, and Josiah cleared that trail at the top where blackberries are. He blazed a trail kind of like through the woods, and it comes out right over here. I'll show you. We can't take the gator back, it's not big enough, but we can walk it. So that's the trail over there. And then I think I'm gonna take y'all to the creek and then show you something very, very cool. I haven't really been over there in over a month, but I'm gonna show you something really neat. All right, we're at the creek. So we kind of have to walk down. I'm gonna run into like a huge spider web, and it's gonna be disgusting, and I'm gonna be freaking out in a second. I don't love bugs. I know they're good, some of them. Or a water moccasin. That's like my biggest fear coming down here. But anyway, he kind of made a little trail that snakes around, and wondered, oh, I just saw a deer run away. Oh, let's see if it comes over this way. It's up there right behind that tree. Oh. Anyway, here's the creek. Let's see if I don't fall down the mudslide. I need to do something about this. I mean, it's hard, but alright, so here's our creek. And it is like so peaceful down here. We have like a couple areas that are like kind of beachy areas, which is kind of nice. We can maybe bring some lawn chairs, but We brought the kids down here the other day for the first time and they loved it. Like, I didn't think they would love it so much, and they did really well walking through the water and just having fun. So it takes a bend around there and it goes pretty far back. We haven't really been that way, but we've been this way, and so I'm gonna take you guys. Look, these are all blackberries. These are first shoot blackberries. All these tall things. Isn't that crazy? Like, they're everywhere, and I'm really excited about it. But I don't know how many I'm actually able to pick and all that. But and these ones, obviously, we won't get anything from this year. But I'm gonna take you somewhere that's really cool. All right, so we're in the creek. This is like a random like pool tarp or something that we found down here. There's a really random Chevy like bumper of an old truck down here. I don't know if somebody got in a wreck once, but there's a tire. But it's so peaceful down here, and there's just rock everywhere, and it's just really, really nice. And it also has a lot of sun, more so than I thought. And I really love that we can just bring the kids down here and they can just have fun and adventure. All right, so we have, the creek goes all the way around. It's beautiful everywhere. There's a couple spots that you could maybe swim, but isn't it just so pretty? All right, here is where I'm taking you, up this trail. I haven't been back here in a while, so Josiah just weed-eated back here, so hopefully I can get through all the brush. So we found, when we were back here, Josiah found it and he brought me back here, a huge sycamore tree. And we've been really interested in it because there's like an old like treehouse type thing in it. I don't think it was like a deer stand, but maybe it was. If I come across a snake in here, I'm gonna be really scared. I just thought of, look at all this. Like, he weed-eated, but like, this is so small. If I see a snake, I'm gonna freak out. Hopefully not. We haven't seen many snakes, and we have some owls. But anyway, we found this sycamore tree, and we estimated it. We did like a calculator thing, and we measured the breast circumference, is what I think it's called. Oh no, where do you go? The trail, I'm losing the trail. And it is estimated to be 236 years old. Isn't that amazing? Like, almost as old as our country. Ah! Anyway, I'm kind of like losing my trail. Where did he take me? Where's he taking me? Oh, guys, I'm literally right under it. Look, I'm stupid. Look at this. Isn't that amazing? I need to get back further so you can actually see it. I wasn't even looking up. I was looking down where I was going. But this sycamore tree is 236 years old, maybe older. Look at it. Isn't that awesome? It's huge. Like, you cannot even tell. But this is all just like brush that we could clear out, and there's like little steps back there. You can barely see it. But he measured around it, and we did the equation, and I'm just kind of shocked, honestly. It's beautiful. It's huge. It's about 15 feet around, maybe a little bit bigger. But you can see the white up there at the top. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's huge. It's pretty amazing, and I think it would be awesome if we could eventually like clear this out, put like a picnic table, and I'd love to have it be the spot where we like bury our dogs, and it's just very special, and it's really cool that it's so old. I'm further down the creek now, and just kind of walking it, and it's just so amazing that we have this creek and there's so much life that's brought to it. And I've seen a couple of deer run away, some squirrels and rabbits, and you just see all the little footprints. And I'm really thankful for this land, and it really just reminds me of like how good God is because of his creation. And I'm really in awe of his creation. This thing apparently like floods and runs like crazy when the water, when it rains like a ton. We saw it like really high when we first got here, and it was a week full of rain. But somebody told us it goes like really far out, which I hope that we don't see that too many times in our life with like our apple trees and such and our goats down here. It's kind of in a floodplain, but you know, it's just what we had to do. Anyway, it's really, really neat, and I'm really thankful for it. So this is kind of an updated farm tour, and we're really glad that you guys are hanging out, watching us and our family and supporting us. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.